So, yes, please uh, tell me about yourself.
Yeah. So my name is Yash Shekhawat and I'm from Jaipur, Rajasthan.
Hmm.
And I have done my BCA in 2020. And currently I have a 5 year of experience, IT experience, and relevant Java full stack. I have 4.5. And currently I'm working in Oham Healthcare Solution. It is basically from Pune, and we are working on the healthcare domain currently. And currently, my project is Rajasthan government is IHMS, is Health Integrated Management Software. It is running on Rajasthan. It is working on 1200 plus hospitals. For the technology, currently we are working on Java Spring Boot Hibernate, and for front end side we are use jQuery, JavaScript, and HTML and CSS, and kind of React also. And the DB side we are use Oracle, PLSQL, and Postgres. That's the technology we are used currently. And the previous experience, I'm working with the ICICI Bank for the NACH and mandate integrations, and for NBFC, non-banking financial companies, and microfinance company. And for the current for used, I have integrated some third-party APIs like the payment services and Natch and all. And that's all about my experience.
Okay, okay, great. So, you have worked on CSS, HTML, JavaScript, advanced JavaScript, right?
Yeah, sir, I'm working on it.
Okay. So, you know JUnit test, Mockito framework.
Yes, sir. Actually, I have used in my one of project I have used. For current one, we are not used because it's a government project, so they are not allowed to use this third party software and all. So
No, so this is JUnit test and Mockito is a third party software.
no. Actually, they are not allowed because they are not required anything. So
Okay.
that's why
No,
our technical leads
yes,
and
yes,
managers. So that's
yes,
why.
yes, yes. Because of, so how do you manage the code quality, code
The
coverage,
basically yeah.
code quality? Suppose you have written the code, some variables, you want to
Yeah.
check with the SonarQube. So SonarQube will
Sonar Q.
suggest you to this
Yes.
kind of you check and rework on that field. So
Yes, sir. So actually, I want to use, but the company not allowed to use. But
oh, okay, okay,
uh,
okay, okay, no problem, no
yes,
problem.
but I
So
know how to work with that. If there any chance, I can do it.
so suppose I will tell you you write a code for unit testing by using for REST API. So how do you write unit test cases?
Basically, REST API unit testing I've used. So uh, there's some lot of annotations like smoke bean at the rate mock bean
Hmm.
for real bean annotation for implementations, and also at the rate mock for testing purpose. It
Hmm.
is for unit test, like mocking some objects. So it this annotation used to all of outside of the spring context.
Hmm.
While we using at the rate mock bean to, it is
Okay.
basically integrate to testing.
Okay, okay,
uh,
okay, okay. Got it, got it. So version tools you are using Git or Bitbucket?
Notes git we are use version
Okay,
controlling.
okay, okay. So in Java, suppose I will tell you in Stream API. So what is difference between collections and streams? You have any idea?
Stream API and collection, yeah, so actually
Collections and streams.
collection, yeah. So the main difference between collection and stream, because the collection are used to store the group and data,
Hmm.
and stream are used to perform operations on data.
Okay.
and collection is an memory data structure to that hold some values, and stream fix the data structure that compute elements on demands, because it is operation. And collection are used to simple data manipulations and storage, and stream use some complex data processing like pipelines, and for the iterations, and collection are iterate externally using a for loop or iterates, and stream internally iterate using the each method.
Okay, okay. So, next question to you: string joiner. You know, in Java 8, string joiner. When, why we are use string joiner?
Yeah, so actually a string joiner basically method for the sequences character separately. When we use to construct a sequence of characters separately, delimiters type like an operate starting and supplied prefixed and ending for the supplied suffix, like we need to some sequence changes, so we need some string joiners.
Okay,
And
okay, okay.
string
So,
join.
what
Yeah.
is default method? You know, when does it use get used?
A default method basically
What is
used for
what is use of default method in interface? Suppose you have written a interface, you have
okay.
maintained two or five default methods. So, what is use of this? Because of default is fully implemented, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
what is
correct. So
use of this?
basically a default method is a fully implemented method to the an interface,
Mm-hmm.
and the declare of using like we can declare using the keyword default,
Mm-hmm.
and default method are introduced to interfaces only containing the method declarations, and no implementation, and also extending interfaces without breaking an existing code.
Mm-hmm.
Default method.
Mm-hmm.
And when we need to some add new functionality to existing interface, so we
Mm-hmm.
need some default methods. And also with the code written a older version or interfaces, so we need to some add some default method to use another of interfaces and all. And adding methods to like expressions parameter existing interfaces also. So avoiding basically a default method avoiding utility classes by providing all collection class method in the interfaces themselves.
Okay. Okay. So, utility. Suppose you have default method in interface. Okay.
Okay.
So I want to make it as a one class, class A stand interface, okay, where we have a
Yeah.
default method. Just to give the name of default get method, okay.
Okay.
The same method I want to overwrite in class after implementing interface, okay.
Okay.
So I want to create object of class A. So which method will call first? Class method or interface method?
Uh, basically interface class method is firstly called, because we inherit to for the default method,
Mm-hmm.
so it is not mandatory. Like when we declare default method in interface, so it is mandatory override for provide some body. So class is already implemented in interfaces, so in short access the default method basically, the default method firstly call.
From interface, right?
Right, sir. Because it's already override to provide body.
So no, suppose I am just overwriting in class. Okay. So one
Okay.
implemented method I have in interface, one implemented method I have in class.
Okay.
So I am creating the object of class. are implementing. Okay, implement interface name, whatever name you have. So I
Okay.
state the object of class. So the my question is simple. Which which method will call first? Overridden method or interface method will call first. Both places I am implemented.
Basically, just uh, if the method are same class, so subclass method, subclass method, super method is called first.
Super means
Super means like inherit to the parent method first call.
so parent method because of the interface is not have a class, right? So how it
Yeah,
inherit?
yeah,
You
correct.
know interface no have object. You know that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So how
Yeah,
it
yeah,
inherit?
yeah. It is not inherit. So the first method.
If I tell you uh, uh, object, so this could not be happen if you say one class and class B, second class A, and overridden method you are calling through the object of child class. So the same method could not call super class first. It will call the child class method. Because of you want to call that, you need to be write a super keyword or this keyword, super keyword. That
Yes.
scenario it will be called.
Yeah. Correct, sir.
You know
Correct.
super keyword.
Correct. Yeah, yeah. Super keyword. Yeah.
So you know encapsulation, abstraction because of this is the common question for all.
Yes, sir. Encapsulation. I know.
Yeah, yeah, please.
Okay. Basically, encapsulation is fundamental of principle. Like is for object-oriented programming language, it is allow some object to hide the data for methods, and other parts it part of the program. Like it is hide the data and method, but other parts is parts of the program. And basically encapsulation provides some data headings and increase flexibilities and improve maintainability, and also hide the internal representations to of an object from the outside, and exposing only the necessary detail through the public interface only. And also allow some change in internal implementation without affecting the external code. When we declare some internal code, so it is not affecting the external code. And it is also helps to maintain the code keeping the fields, and provide some private and providing some public getter setters to the method and to modify the view of the fields. It is encapsulation. And for the polymorphism, and it is basically
You you giving very big picture. I was asking simple, right?
yeah,
Encapsulation simple things, just wrapping the data and method into object. Only wrapping means if you
only
create,
wrapping. Yeah, correct. It is hiding. Yeah,
if you create the object, the method and data will wrapper means
wrapper.
joined into the object. That is encapsulation. Simple things. You going
Yes.
so many way interface and something like.
For your experience, sir, you
So what is in encapsulate abstraction?
basically abstraction represent to the abstract method is the simple way. The abstraction is used to abstract class. It does not have some body, and then provides
So
subclasses to.
yes, just yes. 1 minute, I will ask you. Abstract class have a object.
Sorry, sir.
Abstract class can be create object.
No, sir, cannot be created because it is restrict classes. We
So
cannot be create in abstract class
so how do you justify abstraction through the abstract class?
because
Abstraction,
uh,
simple thing. We have some common features. Okay,
yes, sir.
common features which is needed in all class. Then we will make it a abstract class. We extend
Yes.
that common
To
class. Everything should
explain
be
that.
managed in the subclass of the
Yes.
abstract class. This is simple thing. But where is abstraction? Here not have abstraction. Without object you don't work with the abstraction. Abstraction just as a abstract means whatever you have object. So segregate the object. That would be abstraction. Means the object can make it as a
Yeah.
operational. Operational means processing mechanism is called a abstraction.
Yes, sir.
Processing
It is
mechanism means processing
inherit to the another from another classes.
every
Sorry, sir.
day every day you are writing, you create object and processing the method and variable means you
Yes, sir.
object dot method name, object dot method
Yes,
name.
sir.
This is the
Object dot method name.
method name. This is the operational point. So this is the
Yes, sir.
segregation of the object. If you everything you have object without abstraction, do not do anything else.
Yes, sir.
This is the
The day
common
to day we
point.
need abstractions.
Okay. So
Yes, sir.
abstraction is
Yes, sir.
not a part of abstract class and interface.
It's not. Yes, sir.
Interface is avoiding the diamond problem of the multiple inheritance.
Yes, sir.
This is the definition, simple thing,
Yes, sir.
right? Okay, no problem. But you have given lot of questions answer, so that that is considerable, not a problem. So you know, uh, just 1 minute.
Hello.
Yes. So you know what is difference between abstract class and interface? Just I am asking this question to you.
And difference between abstract class.
Mm-hmm. And in abstract class and interface.
Okay, the simple way I'll tell you. Uh, Abstract class contains an abstract keywords for
Mm-hmm.
the for typically abstract class use there the common behavior for implementation that need to be shared among the group of related classes,
Mm-hmm.
and also interface comes with the variables declared by the final and by the defaults,
Mm-hmm.
and abstract class includes some final and non-final static and non-static and static variables,
Mm-hmm.
and interface comes with the static and final variables also only, and for the uh,
Okay, just now
cl-
moving. You know what is difference between concurrent hash map and hash map?
yes, sir.
Yeah, please.
Basically, concurrent hash map, it is access to content like concurrent hash map allows some concurrent and read access. It is contained where the key can still and read from even the same key is being modified or modified by another thread. It is concurrent hash map, and concurrent hash map also retrieval and update issue in the maps, because there's some segments and maintain segments level also. And concurrent hash map also, it is thread safe to, because it is use multiple threads can operate in the single objects
Hmm.
without any complications.
Okay, okay,
Because
okay, okay. Just move. You know, Spring Core, because of this is all is a part of
yes sir,
requirement.
I'll try sir. I know, yeah.
So Spring Core, you how to write a program for Spring Core? Suppose you have a Spring Core, you have maintained. You are writing a Spring Core concept for batch processing or some other area need to be implementation. So how do you manage this Spring Core? What kind of things you will use for initial to start the work on Spring Core?
For project side, for basically for the spring core, I have create for uh, components class, and create some XML configurations,
Mm-hmm.
and create some main methods
Mm-hmm.
to the create like test classes. I can create main methods, and also create packages for Java files, and Spring create Spring configurations files, and directly we can achieve, because only things is main is XML configurations, and add some Maven dependency in Spring support we can add, and for the context module, and we
So
can achieve Spring.
what is difference between application context and bean factory?
Basically, application context is a central interface that provides some configuration for application, and it is manage life cycle of Spring application, and it is provide represent to IOC container, Spring IOC container, and also like where we need to some like integrations, and also we need some application context for capabilities, offers advanced integration capabilities, and support some application layer specific context, like we need to some layers, so application layers specify context, this application context. And other ones are
Bean factory.
factory.
Okay, so now moving in a Spring, dispatcher servlet class. What is role of this
Dispatcher, yeah, so
dispatcher
actually
servlet?
this is, yeah, it is MVC web framework
Hmm.
for STT request map and responses. For basically, the dispatcher servlet is request handling for like front end controller to coordinate with the handling the request. This
What
dispatch
is
control.
mapping handler?
What's one?
Mapping handler.
Mapping handler. I don't.
You every day you writing at the red controller. If any class mark as a at the red controller, that would be a mapping
Yes.
handler.
Oh yeah. Sorry, sir. Yeah.
Hmm?
Correct, sir.
So you know how to create a Spring Boot application. Suppose you got opportunity from
Yeah.
scratch. So how to create?
Spring Spring application. Okay. So basically,
No.
firstly,
Spring Boot.
Spring Boot. Okay. So firstly, sir, there's some Spring initializer website. So we directly add some packages, and select a Spring Boot, and add some Java version for what we use, and add some dependency under the web what we need, and directly for when we need some Maven, so we need some Maven and what we need Maven or Gradle, so coordinate with the depend on our project and add the Spring Web dependency and directly export that and import the Eclipse and add some what we for development environment settings what we need. So define some model classes and creating some controllers and implement service layers,
Okay.
application context,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
and
Okay. So REST controller and controller. What difference is between these two? Controller and REST controller.
yeah. So basic difference of controller and REST controller is uh, at the controller invoke to rendering phase of format like before the sending the response. It is used for application requirement, and REST controller is used for RESTful web services. It is directly embedded in JSON tags and XML into the body, where it is directly for HTTP response. It is used for it is written XML and JSON returns, and
So controller
the
means what you giving controller at the red controller and at the red REST controller. I'm asking difference between these. You are giving some different path.
basic. Okay, so at the controller, it is used for a notation used to indicate the particular class. Like we can use some controller because we need some class, so we need to add some at the controller notation to indicate the particular class, and for the Spring controller annotation, and at the response controller is basically REST controller is basically used for making RESTful web services for help some
Controller is also making the RESTful web services.
yeah, so it is working, but REST controller is also have some at the rate response body and at the rate response body for directly we can annotation add so we need to directly return controller directly return for JSON and HTML response. So it is basic difference, but we can use at the rate controller to
Okay,
for
so you know JPA. What is why we are using JPA, Java Persistent API?
so basically JPS Java Persistent API to basically for object relation mapping. It is used to for it is ORM for uh, database like JPA and clips underlying the database,
Mm-hmm.
and also some JPQL for streamline ORM mapping, and JPA supports some relation mapping, allow to work with object and class instead of SQL statement and result set, and
So
for Java.
okay. You know second level cache in Hibernate.
Yeah, I know. L2 cache, L2 cache. Yeah. Yeah, basically L2 cache it is Hibernate for data caching component for use like performance uses, and basically L2 benefits is for reduced database load. Like we don't need to directly hit for database, so we need to hit the L2 cache for reduced database load and improve system responsive, and it is used for avoid database accesses and for non-transactional reads. So what we don't need to non-transactional reads into the database. We need to hit the L2 cache for optimize the transactions, and L2 cache is optional and we can disable by default. We can use when we don't need to use we can use default, and
Okay,
we can
okay,
use.
okay. Great. Okay, nice to talk you. So closing this call, you want to ask anything else?
No, sir. Thank you for your time, sir. I'm glad to